All right, welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready.
Okay, good. Today, we're going deep into the world of cryptocurrency, but not in the way you might think.
Right.
We're not talking about, like, specific coins or market trends or anything like that.
Right.
We're diving into the psychology of it all, folks. Like, the mental game of crypto investing. You know,
Absolutely.
pretty. And we've got some really cool sources here that really highlight how our emotions, our own psychology,
Uh-huh.
you know, can really, really mess with our decisions,
Totally.
especially when you're talking about a market as wild and volatile as crypto.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of unpack all of that, and hopefully you'll walk away with some knowledge you can apply not just to crypto, but really to any kind of
Well,
investing.
sure. Sound good.
Sounds good. Let's dive in.
All right. So let's start with kind of the big picture here. I mean, everyone knows crypto is known for these crazy price swings.
Right. One day you're up, the next day you're down. Our sources are really hitting hard on this idea that this kind of volatility, it really amps up those emotional responses. You know, it's like way more intense than with traditional investing, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's really interesting because in traditional markets, you might see, smaller fluctuations over longer periods. But with crypto, you can have these massive, massive swings in a single day.
Right.
And that just does something to our brains, It triggers this primal fear and greed response that can be really difficult to control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I don't know, have you ever been on a roller coaster blindfolded?
I haven't actually.
I mean, I haven't either, but imagine,
Oh,
like,
yeah, I can see that.
it's kind of like that. You have no idea what's coming next.
Yeah,
Exciting, sure, maybe, but also terrifying.
absolutely.
And that's what our sources are saying. Crypto investing can feel like sometimes. It's that emotional roller coaster in the dark.
And not knowing when the drops are coming or how steep they're going to be.
Exactly. And that brings us to, I think, maybe the two biggest emotional players in this game. Fear and greed.
For sure. Classic drivers of human behavior.
Right. I mean, I'm sure we've all felt it, right? You see your portfolio dropping and that fear kicks in.
Oh, yeah.
You just want to get out, cut your losses, run away. And, our sources talk about this idea of panic selling, which is exactly what it sounds like, right? You panic, you sell, and often at a loss. You end up making a bad decision based purely on fear.
Yeah, and that's a really, really tough one to overcome because it feels so visceral, right? It's like fight or flight kicks in.
Totally, totally. But then, of course, there's the flip side.
Greed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When the market's going up, we get greedy. We see those massive gains, and we want more, more, more. All of a sudden, you're not thinking straight anymore. You're ignoring risks, maybe jumping into things you don't even fully understand, all because you're chasing those profits.
Right. And I think one of the things that makes crypto so susceptible to this is, you hear these stories about people making incredible returns in a very short period of time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's easy to get caught up in that and think, well, I'm going to miss out if I don't get in now.
That actually brings up another huge factor our sources talk about, FOMO, the fear of missing out. Have you ever felt that with investing? I know I have, with other stuff too.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a powerful emotion because it taps into this feeling of, we don't want to be left out. We want to be part of the group. And in crypto, where things move so fast, FOMO can be incredibly dangerous. It pushes people to make these impulsive decisions without really doing their research or understanding the risks.
Totally. It's like jumping on a moving train without knowing where it's going.
Yeah,
You just hope it's heading somewhere good.
exactly.
But here's what I found really interesting and maybe a little bit counterintuitive in the source material. They really emphasize patience as being like this crucial factor for success in crypto.
Yeah, that surprised me too at first. Because, everything in crypto seems to move at warp speed.
Right. But the sources are saying, hey, you got to remember, the market always goes up and down. It's cyclical. It's like you can't get caught up in those daily or even hourly fluctuations. You got to focus on the long game, the long-term value of whatever you're investing in. Do you buy that?
Absolutely. I think it's so easy to get lost in the day-to-day noise of the market. But successful investors, they're able to zoom out, and look at the bigger picture. They're not trying to time the market perfectly. They're focused on the fundamentals of a project, and they're willing to ride out the storms. They have patience.
Yeah, and I think that's something we can all apply to any area of our lives, right? Not just investing. But how do you actually cultivate that patience? Especially in an environment as crazy as crypto. That's got to be tough.
It is tough and it takes practice, but there are a few things you can do. I think setting clear long-term goals is super important.
Okay,
Like really defining what you want to achieve and then sticking to your plan even when the market is going crazy.
gotcha.
And then, of course, diversifying your portfolio is always a good idea. It helps to kind of spread the risk and reduce that emotional impact of any one investment going up or down.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. And this one is crucial, I think. Don't constantly check the prices.
Mm.
Like obsessively tracking every fluctuation is just going to amplify your emotional response. It's like you're just feeding the beast.
Right. It's like that saying, out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly.
The less you're looking at it, the less you're stressing about that.
Exactly. And that's where the patience comes in, right? It's
Yeah.
about taking a step back, taking a deep breath, and trusting in your long-term vision.
Yeah. Really good points. So to kind of sum all this up, if we step back from the crypto world for a second, it seems like what we're really talking about here is just the importance of understanding our own psychology.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we are all human and we are all susceptible to these emotions. But by developing self-awareness and practicing discipline, we can make better, more rational choices in any area of our lives.
That's a great point. Whether it's crypto or stocks or even just making a big purchase, those same psychological factors are at play. Fear, greed, FOMO, patience, it's all connected.
Totally.
So that's our deep dive into the psychology of crypto investing. And I think it leaves us with a pretty powerful question.
Yeah.
Now that you know these factors are at play, how might you approach investing differently? And I mean, not just in crypto, but in anything. How can you use this knowledge to keep those emotions in check and make decisions based on logic, not impulse?
That's a good question for everyone to think about.
Some good food for thought, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, happy investing and good luck out there.
See ya.
Bye.